Welcome back to the Stop Snitching podcast. It's Nathan.
Sirski.
It's Brandon. It's BCTV Media.
Back. Second week in a row.
It's just BC back in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? CLB cut.
Man, nah.
Actually, no, you did. You had it before Drake.
Cut. Yeah, I definitely had this before Drake. I've been going on this.
That's a crazy thing to say, honestly. Not many men can say that.
It depends when you ask, because apparently Drake's a culture vulture. So he's like following the trends.
We've known this, though, bro.
Trends.
We've known this.
But,
it's never bothered me.
Yeah.
I've never understood the concept of like a culture vulture bothering someone about it if it's just making everything better. Like,
yeah, I think some people just don't like it. They don't think it's making it better. So then it's like a double whammy. So it's like, not only is he using and benefiting off other cultures, but then it's like he's also kind of like.
But here's my thing: outside of the Spanish thing, that was like a thing for like the past year. Like, he was a rapper, he was a singer, like R&B, hip hop. Like him jumping on a Migos song or like Lil Baby in the beginning. Like, why does that bother people? Like, you're literally in the same exact lane. And
I think it was about that. I think it was when he started doing like the London rap, like the
like this with the Skepta stuff and
like
all that.
I think it was more of that. I don't
but
know.
Doesn't Canada have like this like London? I thought they always had this UK
Canada
vibe.
has like a lot of influences, like Caribbean influences.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't mind it.
It doesn't bother me.
I don't care. Yeah, as long as the music's good, I don't care.
I've because after we talked last week, I went back and listened to the Drink Champs thing because you told me how you were like, no, it's not like
interview
that.
Of the year, man.
Bro, I still couldn't get through all of it in its entirety because it's so much. But first of all, I've never actually listened to Drink Champs. That is funny as hell. Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Great
on that
concept.
Thing. After you drop any gems and they're all like, yay!
Great concept, because it's not like traditional journalism. It's like homies chopping it up, drinking.
Yeah. And
then as it goes on, then you just start just like letting loose.
But when Ye was on there and he said like he listened to Certified Lover Boy and he liked it and he wanted the TSU beat.
Yeah. I
was like, oh.
He kept it real. That's why people were like going.
You said he loves Drake.
Yeah, he's very honest. He's just being honest. It's not crazy. If you're honest, you just speak your mind.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely goes off on his Ye tangents and stuff.
But he thinks he's different, though. He's a different person. He's always been like that.
Here's what I did. This is the only thing that bothered me in the part that I listened to. That makes no sense to me. Where he's like, what do you call it? Like the trust fund babies have all this money, but they want to live homeless on purpose. So Ye doesn't have a house because his house is his bag and his bag gets bigger as he's going away. But then he's talking about how Kim went through and like all his 80 plus storage units. I was like, so you don't have a house, but you'll pay to have 80 storage units
he definitely has
full of stuff. I'm like,
yeah, he definitely has home.
What?
I think he was saying that he doesn't live like he's not like it's not traditional where he's living in one. It's like he's bouncing around. That's what I think. He definitely has a home.
80 storage units.
Yeah, he definitely has
but you have no house. You might as well just buy a house. You're probably paying more on all those storage units anyway.
Basically, right now, I feel like he's just living out of his backpack, like, because he's traveling so much. So I got it. Because it's like, I felt like that. Like, sometimes you just live out your suitcase. So even when you get home, it's like you don't unpack because you're like, all right, I got to go back out anyway. So you're basically just living out of this little suitcase.
I guess his nice ass Louis Vuitton suitcase. Yeah. I guess. Like, come on, bro. I think that's the only part about the current Ye that bothers me is this idea that he's like trying to live this like monk lifestyle when in the same breath he's talking about how he made hundreds of millions of dollars last year.
I think that's the magic in it though, because it's like he contradicts himself, but it's like he doesn't mean to, because he means well, but it's like he's a minimalist person who lives a maximalist lifestyle just because of who he is. That's hard.
A bar right there.
Yeah. If you notice, like, in his rollout, like, even when he, like, think about it, he was recording inside a football stadium and living in it, but the room that he was in was just, like, nothing in there.
I didn't realize he was really living
there. Yeah. So that's it's like,
crazy.
That's a perfect analogy, because it's like, he wants to be minimalist, but it's Kanye, so it's like, I'm gonna live in this little room in this football stadium. Think about it, like little room in a football stadium.
Yeah.
And then when I'm ready to perform, I'll just perform at the football stadium. So it's like he can't help it. His brand is so big, it's hard for him to be like, I feel like what he really wants to be. So he's like wrestling with it right now. So he'll be like, yeah, I don't have a home. I live out my backpack, but he really has like multiple homes, 80 storage units, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's hard.
It's impossible. Like, I thought, as a tangent to this, like, I saw David Dobrik get into some more BS because apparently there was this TikTok that went around that he didn't tip or pay at this restaurant, and then he came out and said, like, no, you need to understand, I never pay at any restaurants. Like,
he just eats for free.
He's just like, I go there and I'm David Dobrik.
Yeah.
I think essentially that's what he's saying. It's like, you know, when you hit, or he was saying it actually on Drink Champs. He's like, you work to get all this money, and then at a certain point, your money's not good here anymore.
Right.
Your presence is what's valuable, because when you leave, we'll make 50 times the amount of money we ever made on all these other people coming in. So I was like, okay. And then David Dobrik was really interesting. He was like, one, I definitely couldn't have paid because I don't have credit cards. He's like, I Venmo everybody everything. He's like, I don't have a card.
Wow.
Which I thought was
interesting.
Really weird. But okay, I guess you can do it without a credit card. I find that so interesting. Like, I eventually, when we can talk to someone who has that much money, that's what I want to ask them. I don't care how much money you have. It's just like, bro, how do you manage that? Like, is it a money manager? Is it a business account? Like, does someone have your card? Like, how, when you have that much money, you know it's not all liquid, right? Like, Jay-Z doesn't have a liquid $1 billion. He has a finite amount of cash. Well, he may have a liquid billion, but I mean, like, all his assets and everything, that's what makes you so valuable. So, like, but anyway.
Jay-Z definitely has a
card. He got in hot water, and he was like, what? He was like, I don't even have a card. He's like, one, I wouldn't tip because I wouldn't be paying. And then two, I don't pay because people don't make me pay.
How did he say it? How did he say it? Was it kind of just like...
In his, like, nice way. I'm a huge fan of David Dobrik. Yeah, I fucking love the guy.
I know the name, but I'm not, like, familiar.
You've never watched his vlogs and stuff?
Nah.
He's changed up his content recently, which is, like, cool. He's trying to do a little, not so, like, flashy, crazy 4-minute videos once a week, but, like, now he's got a show with Discovery Plus, where he's traveling around with his friends and doing all stuff like that, which is cool. Like, to me, it's tough because that's like the most basic possible thing you could do next, where it's just like easy content for you, all of your friends, your vlog, and the TV show, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we can just knock out 5 birds with one stone on this. But he was doing the podcast thing, and now he doesn't do the podcast thing anymore. And the podcast thing, I thought that's where it was going to be interesting, because he has such access to everyone from, like, new TikTokers to, like, Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like, you could have all those types of people on your platform.
Maybe he's just trying to reinvent himself. Sometimes when you do something for so long at a high rate, it's like, it gets monotonous. So you try to, find yourself. So
he said that.
Yeah.
But it's also a bag grab. Like, you're just, of course, it's just money to be made. Yeah.
It's easy. I mean, that's the point of life, right? It's like, what can we do to not amass money, but to, like, get to a point where we're comfortable, but do little as possible. Yeah, like, what can we do to take the labor out of things, but still be good in life? You know what I'm saying? Working smarter. But it's interesting, though, because the EYL guys just had this guy, TJ Millionaire, on, who apparently, like, sold his tech company for, like, a lot of money. And he was like, you know how some people are like, you gotta work smarter, not harder? But he was like, you should really do both. Like, you should work smart and hard. So, like, where do you fall on that? Do you feel like I would rather work smarter than harder, or do you feel like success requires both?
I mean, success definitely requires both, but I think that, like, I'm definitely a smarter, not harder guy. I think, we'll put it this way. If you're working so hard because you refuse to delegate, I think that's a liability. Yeah. I think that is a failure in leadership, where if you cannot delegate, it means you can't team build. It means you can't develop talent. It means you're only as good as yourself. Yeah. That's kind of where I draw the line in terms of working harder. And I also draw the line with working harder where if your productivity has become like a zero-sum game, where, like, my output is only as good as my input, like, you got to be able to leverage what you're putting out to at least hold the ball a little bit while you're developing something else. Like, if you're only as good as you know, the newest TikTok that you post and there's no growth based on anything else because it's so hollow, I think that's a mistake. Like, that's why I think podcasts are so good, because you can put it out there, it can live for a while, people can enjoy it over a long term. You can develop something else and then put another thing out. But I'm more smarter. Like, I don't see a lot of people in my life being like just grinding. Like all I do is work all the time just to work. Like, nobody wants to do that.
Nah. Well, I mean, people.
Why? How about you?
Well, it's interesting because
you're way smarter, not harder. I don't care what.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're about to say. You are like Mr. 10 bags, 1 egg per basket. Yeah. Like, that's the smartest way to do it.
Yeah, I don't. You can let the egg grow. A lot of stuff, man. Like I told man, like when I was traveling, Mike hit me and he said, "Yo, like this guy wants to work with you, da da." And I was like, honestly, like I'm not taking anybody else on because
Mike Dunn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just like, I can't. Like, there's so much going on, and I like the pocket of which I'm working now. So it's like, unless I could pass somebody off to him, you know, like even if they're not under me, like I could do like I've done referrals in the past where it's like, all right, I give you this person, I get some off the top. With North 13th, we're like actually building a team. So like that's really where the team building comes in. It hasn't happened with BCTV yet just because we've been doing it with North 13th, so it's like hard. But yeah, like I'm definitely smarter, not harder. But like I was watching something and this guy was like, Kevin Hart is somebody who's like just a hard worker. Like he loves work. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the guy was like, he didn't understand it because at Kevin Hart's level, it's like you should be able to like kind of like delegate like more. You shouldn't have to like work as hard as
image.
You do.
If he's talking about current Kevin Hart, that's an image that you're putting up of working so hard yourself.
Like I get it.
That's impossible at his level.
I don't know. I've never been like I need to like you want to outwork people, but not like to the point of exhaustion.
No, yeah,
you know
because
what I'm saying?
Then you just
sometimes die. I feel like Kevin Hart's like that. It's like he does 3 movies and then he does this and he does this, and I'm like, that sounds amazing, but I don't envy it because it's like he's physically doing all of it. You know what I'm saying?
I think what most people don't understand if they've never like had any access to something like that is that Kevin Hart is not choosing those projects for himself. Like he may have the final say on it, like, and understand what he's about to do, but like all of those schedules line up perfectly so that he can do A, B, and C. Like, these are all things that have been in the pipeline for long enough where talk about working smarter, not harder. What's the last Kevin Hart movie you've seen where he wasn't an executive producer, where he wasn't at least a producer, where he wasn't a writer? Like, he's getting points off the top of all this stuff on top of being in the movie because he's working smarter, not harder. Like, if it was just off of him as an actor, I get that when you're grinding, but like, look at like we just saw The French Dispatch, right? Facts. How many movies have you seen with Timothée Chalamet in it right now?
A lot.
And he was only in probably 20 minutes of that French Dispatch movie, but it's a grab for him. Yeah. And then he can do Dune, right? Where he can actually be the main character in that thing the whole way through. But now his cloud is spread because now he gets to be at 2 movie premieres at the same time across the world for 1 indie film and 1 major blockbuster. Like, to me, that's working smarter, not harder.
That's an indie film?
Wes Anderson?
Yeah.
Compared to Dune?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
it's interesting, man. So, yeah, we watched French Dispatch. Great movie, by the way. Very.
Brandon was higher on it than me, but I did like it.
It's an acquired taste. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to like anybody. Like, you would need to like actually.
I'm gonna pull up Wes Anderson.
Appreciate art in a different way to appreciate that movie. And like I said, I think we talked about it last night. Like, the only other thing that I may be seeing is like Grand Budapest Hotel. Like, you know, the big ones. Like, I'm not like huge Wes Anderson, like just studying everything he does, but the French Dispatch was really good, man. I mean, just like he had his signature style in there, like stationary camera, things moving within the frame, a lot going on, which I kind of like because I like a lot of things moving. Like I hate stillness, if that makes sense. and visuals. Like, I need something to be happening at all times, just for me. You know what I'm saying? So I liked it a lot. Like, there was a scene where I think it was in the Jeffrey Wright scene when he was like talking about the chef, and there was something going on one side of the screen, and then there was something going on the other. But my eyes, I was like doing both at the same time. Mm-hmm. Some people, it would be like a lot. So I think it was more of my kind of movie where it's constant motion. Something's always going on. You got to look for other things. So that's why I said it's an acquired taste. And it was very, I don't know. I mean, it was a very nuanced film, right? Like,
it's different than any other movie that he's ever done, to me.
Yeah, it was very just like, you had to pay attention from the beginning to get it. Like, it's not a movie you could just jump into and...
It's not a beginning, middle, and end, and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you have to be locked in from the very start of the movie to get the overall concept of the movie. And I thought it was really well done, man. And I think you can just go ahead and explain, if you can, like, quick synopsis of like what it is.
The plot is basically like, so the French Dispatch is like the most famous magazine in the whole world. Mm-hmm. And
is that true in real life though?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, like, I looked it up last night. I'm like,
yeah, no. But I would say that it's and essentially there's this owner, and he makes choices about the stories, and his life, and the crux of the film is really basically watching the 3 editorials that are written by the writers and seeing how those stories all not intertwine, but how the writers connect.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end where it's really more of this like arcing relationship of the team of the magazine.
Yeah.
I would say the writing was a lot. I mean, if you were there fucked up at all, like going into there, I mean, it would not be good. I definitely had like preference. Like I said last night to you, like I wasn't really feeling the Timothée Chalamet one where it was him and Frances McDormand, which I thought I would have really liked. I don't know. I didn't really feel him in the movie like that. It was a little, that was the first time I saw him more as like Timothée Chalamet in a movie and not who he's trying to be.
Yeah.
Because I thought the Benicio del Toro one.
Fire.
That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Where, I don't even want to talk about it because it just gives it away.
Yeah.
Was awesome. That was like a great little story.
Yeah.
You were high on the last one, right?
I think the best way I can describe it is like each editorial was like its own mini movie in a way.
I would say it was kind of like 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It's like a mix of some
fantasy.
Like,
it's
because I'm thinking fictional. Of like how I would describe it to my mom, and I'm like, all right, well, it's about this publication, like you said, most famous publication in the world. The main backstory is the editor-in-chief is like, you know, like you would picture an editor-in-chief, like he has a bunch of writers under him. They're all working on different things, different editorials. They all have their own personalities and their experiences. And I think what I appreciated was Bill Murray's character, which is the editor-in-chief. He looked like somebody that just lets you be you. Like, whatever it is that you want to do, let it be you. But there was this line that he kept saying, but like, there was one thing that he would always tell his writers.
Oh, you want me to tell you what? I do know what it is.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think he's giving it away.
It's the write it like you meant to say it that way.
Yeah, because like these things are like, when you guys watch the movie, they're so like insane. Outlandish and like fanciful that it's like...
The language is... It's like Shakespearean poetry for an hour and 45 minutes. Exactly. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot.
If you're like a common... viewer in the movie, if you're a reader, you would think that these things are like made up, but they're really not. And I think that was the magic in the movie, is because we get to like visually see like what these people are writing about, which is like interesting, because when we read things, we like have our own interpretation in our mind. So this took it out. It's like, nah, this is actually what happened. So this is the story behind the story, essentially. And we get to see it play out. And I think each scene was like, each editorial was maybe like 30 minutes, like 30
I was going to say
minutes.
it probably had to have been less because it wasn't even a 2-hour movie.
Really?
And then
So
they
I
had
would
the
say, like,
beginning
20.
and the end notes.
Yeah.
And I forgot, there's also the one with Owen Wilson, too.
Yeah. That was like the first one.
Yeah.
That's when he was riding on the bike and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting concept that I just realized now. It's like it takes away that part of reading that belongs to us, where it's like, all right, we read something and we visualize it on our own. Mm-hmm. This movie just takes it away, and it's like, nah, this is what happened.
What I think what I appreciate most about it is like the way that it's written. Yes, you do have to pay attention because there's so much packed into every sentence of every character that's coming out.
Yeah.
And it's the same pace as any other Wes Anderson movie that you've seen. It's very
frantic.
quippy. It's frantic, but he also has these moments where he'll like someone will curse, and it'll be very like plain language, and then it goes back into these very short sentence structures, and then someone has this monologue, and you're but more than anything, I think you're right. It's like the art direction is just incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, whoever he gets, I don't know if he works with that same person all the time or if that's really him framing those shots. I mean, just from the wardrobe to the lighting to the colors. Like you said, he's real big on pan in and then he pans out. Yeah. He'll do split screens where he's showing you things. Captionings are always really big in it. It's just this like multi-leveled experience.
Placed. Like there was a few times where the captions were like in the middle of the two people talking. And it was like little, but it was big enough to where you could see it.
And that's what I was saying to you. I was like, dude, if you could ever be, I mean, I would love it too, but I just think about someone like you being there, like fly on the wall, how much value you would get out of like just listening to those people talk about their thought process. Yeah. Because like you said, it had to have been sets. There's no way that was on site.
It was like a play. It looked like a play. It looked like a cinematic play. That's how I looked at it. It's like you can tell these were sets. Like even they did a lot of panning shots that would go from like one scene to the next. So that's how I knew it was probably just like in that format, which I appreciated because I feel like because when I was watching the movie, I was thinking like, all right, how many times did these people have to rehearse these scenes? Because they were so like synchronized and like. And I feel like it was probably like a heavy rehearsal kind of thing. But I also feel like Wes Anderson's the kind of guy that lets you just like figure it out. Mm-hmm. And it like, you know, because I'm sure there was like some mistakes in there that he just let in. You know what I'm saying?
But he also always works with that same ensemble cast. Yeah. So I think by now there's got to be some chemistry of like coming together and like understanding who you're most likely being casted as to be in this role. Yeah.
But it felt like a big play. Like in a cinematic way. Man, bro, I don't want to give everything away.
No. Like what's your overall rating? Like, would you say it's a must-see?
It depends. Like, I think it's a must-see because that's just my brain. But, like, if it's an average fan, I wouldn't recommend it. I think it would be too much, to be honest.
I would say the same thing. I think if you're a fan, you should go see it. But I'm looking at his movies here, like Isle of Dogs. Yeah. Once again, that's a weird movie. But it's an awesome movie. Yeah. I still think The Grand Budapest Hotel is my favorite movie that like he's made. That's the most famous one, right? Yeah, I mean, I think it's the most watch-worthy. Well, that, and then, I don't know if you've ever seen Moonrise Kingdom, but Moonrise Kingdom is awesome. Mm-hmm. You've seen The Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah. That's George
That's
Clooney,
probably
right?
the most, like, must-see movie there. Because then there's The Life Aquatic, there's The Royal Tenenbaums, there's Bottle Rocket.
Oh, he did Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great movie.
Yeah, and that's 01.
Yeah, I was Ben Stiller now.
Yeah. So
I could see that.
I would say that. I think it was cool for him, but it's not my favorite. Yeah. Not my favorite. But I do think if it goes to HBO Max or something, you're hanging out, you just want to watch something interesting. Absolutely. I mean, we saw it at 9:20 last night on a Saturday night, and there were still probably 10 people in there. I was impressed with how many people were. I thought it was just going to be us.
Yeah, we were talking about the reaction after. So, like, you know, movies end, and there's, you know, there's like expected reaction. Some people may clap. You know, there's a good energy in the room. This was just like weird. Everybody was just kind of looking around like, all right, it's over. You know, like, because we didn't know exactly what we watched. Because there's so much going on. And I feel like he does that on purpose. Like, he packs the scripts out on purpose. You're not supposed to get every single thing. Like, I think he wants you to leave like, dang, I gotta go watch it again. Not because it was amazingly good, but because I just need to know what happened. Like, I feel like I didn't get everything that I needed to get.
You're also the rewatch man. Yeah. I don't rewatch stuff. Oh, it takes a lot for me to rewatch.
It takes a lot for me too. Like Dune, I said that about Dune just because Dune was just like crazy, bro. Like
Dune was the opposite. It was the cinematic experience where you were like, did I miss something that happened actually in the movie because I was so focused on watching what was going on in front of me? Like, I'm sure the script for The French Dispatch was this. The script for Dune was this big. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of talking.
It was kind of like The Revenant, right? It was more on the atmosphere, the sound. Yeah, you know, the sound design, art direction was big in Dune. Just like costume, you know, it was more about the aesthetic of it than the actual substance.
But you do think we're gonna see The French Dispatch up for something?
Yeah, art direction,
writing.
Yeah, writing,
something like that. Maybe a screenplay. Yeah,
for sure.
I agree with you. No, I think if you can go out and see it, you absolutely should. But with King Richard that we're about to watch, which we'll talk about, Tick Tick Boom, which we're gonna watch, we'll have to talk about. Coming out, dude, man. Come on, with Joaquin Phoenix. We were talking about that last night. The pizza, something, the new Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, Licorice Pizza.
It's my favorite time of the year.
Bro. Yeah, it's that time.
Hits.
Yeah, these are all the Oscar
and Spider-Man now.
Nominees. Well, yeah, that's
come on, bro. If Spider-Man is less than 3 hours, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I think my prediction for Spider-Man is going to be like a 7 or 8 out of 10.
Really?
I don't know.
That's probably going to be high. Because there's going to be a lot going on.
Yeah, I think there's so much expectation though. I think it's going to be hard to live up to it. Like, we're just expecting so much. We're wanting Tobey Maguire in it, Andrew Garfield, Doc Ock is in it, like Green Goblin is in it. So it's like it's almost like a too good to be true situation. But I know like Marvel and Sony are going to like make sure that it's done the right way.
They have to.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be solid. It's definitely going to be an experience, though. And we definitely got to see it in IMAX.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way I'm seeing that movie regularly.
Yeah. XD.
Yeah, XD.
Cinemark, baby.
Like, that's the perfect kind of movie. But, yeah, French Dispatch, really, really dope movie. If you're a regular moviegoer and you're just going to the movies just because it's something to do, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're, like, into, like, the art and, you know, you're a film buff, so to say, like, I feel like it's a great movie for
it's definitely one to get a little feather in your cap for.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is the sound design. I love the sound, like the footsteps, the opening of suitcases, the pouring of drinks. Like, I love that. So when you guys see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Stop snitching. Recently I've got a new assistant manager at work.
Yeah,
Pete, great guy.
Shout out Pete.
Well, you know what? He'll be a very funny person to have on here. So he's like OD with the sports gambling. Like, dumb nice, though. Mm-hmm. Like, wins consistently. So I've been, like, doing it, like, just, like, engage, like, see what's up with it. Have you ever done any of the, like, FanDuel?
Nah. Only when I helped you out.
Bro, I tell everyone that story. So for anybody who does not know the story, the single greatest sports gambling moment of my entire life is... I swear, it's hard for you to verify this, but there were other people there.
Yeah.
Brandon called at the last Super Bowl every score in sequence by player.
Facts.
For the entire Super Bowl.
Gronk, AB, Fournette.
And the only thing that I did was after he went to Gronk one time, I was like, he's going to Gronk again.
Yeah.
And Gronk's going to get another one. I lost no bets. And they were only voided because they just, like, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever. There were contingencies or things like that. So, for whatever reason, like, I didn't lose any money. Literally hit on every single one. I was literally jumping up and down, hugging Brandon. Like, everybody there was literally like, this is weird. Like, I literally went to B. I was like, who's next? He was like, Fournette running. I was like, what? Are you serious? He was like, yes.
And he ran it.
And then it wasn't even Buck's ball. You're like, they're not scoring here. It'll go back. Fournette will run it in. Next score. I was like, what? So I listened to Brandon for everything. So that's the single greatest moment of my career.
How much money did you win that day?
It was like probably a couple $100.
That's just
but people got to understand, this is not big money. I was literally throwing like $10 down, then like $8 down. Like the odds were like plus 900. Like it was because it was calling every single one as it was happening live. And then for the Super Bowl, they had all the boosts and this and that. So it was just like, it was ridiculous. And I never gamble. So for them, their bonus money, this, that, and the third, like they're just throwing money at me to try to get more money out of me. But I literally played with all the bonus money, hit on all of it, and won. So now
legendary.
So now I'm trying to do better with it because he knows sports so much better than me. So like I'll listen to his advice or whatever.
Like, so he gives you like parlays and stuff.
He'll definitely give me like good picks, but like I can't do them all. So I'll like listen to certain ones. So I'm like getting in the rhythm of it, like nothing crazy big money. But what's happening is every single time that I bet, I've lost. Right? Wow. So I'll keep losing, but FanDuel or whatever like keeps giving me the money back. Like they'll be like, "Oh, it was a bonus. You get your $25 back in site credit, bro." I have literally played and lost with the same $25 for like 6 weeks of the NFL in a row. Like I keep doing it because I keep playing with the same money. I'm like, I have to win eventually. Like I've literally never put more money in it.
So you still have a lot of trust in this guy that it's just going to eventually, it's going to eventually
put it this way. I got a lot of trust while I'm still at a net zero.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
So he hasn't made you any money, but it also hasn't lost.
Well, no, but to be fair, like I'm not putting in every bet. You know what I mean? Like the guys who are
you're
really
picking the wrong ones that he's sending.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm choosing the ones that I think work out. I have hit on my own like in the past, like just for fun.
Yeah.
But the NFL is ridiculous. The NFL is it's so hard to pick, but like he's so good with all the sport. I'm just like, bro, I can't.
That'd be a good episode because I'm not into sports betting. I think it's cool, but I personally wouldn't do it. I mean, if I had $1 million, I probably would do it. Just
he's got a science to it. Like it does make sense. Formula. He does it well because he's smart with the money. It's like there's definitely people I know who
they're
is just OD. Yeah, like that gambling addiction, bro, that's crazy shit.
They can't help it.
Oh, dude, yes. Did I ever tell you the one time I went to Atlantic City?
Nah.
The one time that I went to Atlantic City, I was there with Shane and Sarah, and I gambled like not anything crazy, like literally $50. Lost it, and I was like, oh, damn, okay, like whatever. And then Sarah like spot me another 50 to go back and win. Bro, I won it all and some. Got greedy, lost it all. I was like, I literally walked out of there. I was like, yo, this is how it happens. Like,
I think that's what casinos bet on. It's like they know most people aren't gonna just walk away with the win because you're gonna
and you can drink for free the whole time, bro. I was literally sitting there and they just keep coming up to you, giving you drinks. Because
they're like, all right, most people are gonna get greedy and say, you know, if I won this one, I'm gonna win the next one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And
absolutely,
that's where you go down the rabbit hole.
You got to know when you can walk away from it, but like. Dude, the sports betting on the apps now, like, it's crazy, bro. Like, even, I'm not even that person, but even I will look at it and be like, what's the promos? Like, what's this, that? Like, oh, that seems reasonable. Like, oh, that seems reasonable. Yeah. But then you realize you're like, well, first off, I can only bet on stuff that I know.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do on anything.
You should do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I can only bet on the Eagles because I only know Eagles players like that. I enjoy watching the NFL, but I don't know, like, statistically speaking, what it is. Like, that's why I got guys like Pete in my corner. I'm like, is this ridiculous? And he'll be like, nah, that seems like okay, like reasonable because of X, Y, and Z, da-da-da-da-da. But, I mean, once you're playing with house money.
Yeah. Well, then
you're just chilling. Like, as long as you're smart and you're always getting your own money back in.
I feel like if I did it, I would do it.
I feel like you'll be good at it, bro.
Yeah, but I would do it to be risky, you know, because it's like, to me, it's like, me coming into that, I would just look at it like I don't have an addictive personality, so I know I could just like weave in and out. So I would go in and I actually wouldn't play it safe. I'd be like, all right, like I'm gonna bet on the thing that's in the least favor of happening, because if I win it, then I get
you're
more.
chilling.
Yeah, I get more. But if I lose, I know I wouldn't have put enough in that would like kill me. So that's how I would personally do it.
It's tough.
Like I would have my safe bets, but I would also be like, all right, well, Patrick Mahomes plays the Las Vegas Raiders. That they're saying that the line is he's going to have 300 passing yards.
Yeah,
I'll do. Nah, he's going to have 400 or 500. Like,
you're crazy.
because it's like, all right, if I win,
Yo,
then
like,
I
here.
cash out crazy.
Like here, this is what FanDuel just put in, and it's Mahomes and Prescott to both have at least one passing touchdown in both halves.
Okay.
That seems reasonable, right?
Yeah.
They're both throwing the ball, whatever. And then there's like crazy odds on it. This is what makes me nervous, because I'm like, why are you giving me such a good promo on this? Now, they max out the bet. So like you can't throw $1,000 down on that, because if it hits, people are going to cash out like crazy.
But how much can you cash out on that? It's pretty safe. It's like I kind of look at
I threw in the minimum. It's like $50 to win like $250.
Like the stock market. It's like there's certain stocks that are just safe, so you're not gonna like get a bunch of return back.
But until
you know
someone
you're gonna
gets
make
hurt,
money,
bro, like you know, you go out there, Dak gets hurt, he's out. Now he's out. Now you can't win. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that on the player props are what it is. So it's fun. But like I'll literally do it on Sundays, because I do get that it's more enjoyable. Like watching the game, it is more fun. Now I'm not the person that can throw down hundreds or thousands of dollars to like watch it play out unless you have that much money to go. Yeah. But on average, I'm probably throwing like $5 or $10 down on like a parlay just to see if it hits, and then you can win $200. Like that's fun for me, because it's not big money. I know I'm not like gonna get smoked on this.
I think it's I don't know, man. I think it's the opposite, because it's like, if I'm putting money on, if I'm betting on a money line and it's like the Eagles have to win by 10 points, then it's like I can't enjoy the win because they have to win by more than 10. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't win by more than 10, it's like, dang, I don't care if they won. I lost money. So that's where that's to me where it's like, I feel like you shouldn't bet on the team that you're a fan of, because then it ruins the experience for you. Because now you're just like, instead of like, you know, being happy that the team won, you're like focusing on why didn't Devontae score? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't this happen?
Devontae fucked me, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't even enjoy the Eagles win because you're like, dang, Devontae didn't score.
So here's how I'll do it. Like, if I put money on this Eagles game like I did, I'll still if I'm betting on it, or a piece of the parlay is the money line on the Eagles. So like they have to win. So I'm always rooting for them to win. Yeah. I did that one time where I bet against them, and it was so much not fun, because I'm like, so what? Now if I make money, my team lost, and then that's not fun. Like there's no like good happy medium around it. Yeah. That's why if you talk to guys like Pete, it's so much more about like the statistics of the odds of it happening. Like he has the ability to like separate that. Yeah. I think so to a certain extent and be heavy, but he'll still like play his favorites though.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I probably wouldn't, just because I feel like I just enjoy watching games too much. So I would be like, all right, like
it's not fun enough.
Yeah, it's not fun. So like you gotta think like, all right, Jalen Hurts drops back for a pass. Who you're gonna want to throw into Devontae every time, and that's not the right thing. So it's like that's where it kind of gets crazy. Bro,
you're so right. All right, anyway, off of my antics. So here's a couple things to react to real quick. Right. Now. I chose the most things that are you on TikTok at all?
Nah.
No, you can't look yet, bro.
I mean, I can't see what
disregard this. This shouldn't even be in there. You're not on TikTok at all.
Nah.
You never go on TikTok. Do you have TikTok downloaded?
Nah, I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Never mind. This is even more interesting. You don't really?
I mean, my girl watches it all the time. Like that's what I'm saying. I see so many other people on it that I don't need it.
TikTok is the best platform, bro. It's so addictive. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm going to show you some alt stuff. You know what I mean by like alt content?
Yeah.
Here's the thing with TikTok. I genuinely can't tell if these are people being for real. Mm-hmm. Like this is actually like authentic to them, or if this is like a play. Like, I don't know. I'll get in the depths. Like I'm looking for stuff that these are things where I'm just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Okay. So I'm going to start you off light with this. Now, this is a guy in New York.
Yeah.
Now, hold on.
Only in NYC cats.
It says only in New York City.
The
cats own the deli.
Okay.
Yo, only in New York City.
Oh, snap.
This nigga right here.
Yo. Okay.
Now,
I think that's just real. Like,
that's the most New York City thing possible. Like, imagine you're dipping down. I know you would be like, whoa. You would not be that calm if you went in there
saw a cat,
to grab a bag of Doritos.
Yeah, that's not a thing here. Like, just a random cat, just like being in.
Bro, Pete, this cat is chilling, bro.
Only in New York City.
But that's the thing, like, that's not a live reaction.
Cat
He
does
probably
not care.
saw it, and then he was like, oh, snap. And then he took out his phone and did all that. Which is, all right, so sidebar. Like, the social media, like, the way social media makes us act nowadays is crazy. Because it's like, we can never just, like, enjoy a moment.
Right.
It's
If
like,
you
we
see something
it,
like that.
and we're like, oh, I got to do this, and I got to do the story. And, like that kind of just came up in my mind, like, yo, that's a cool moment. Like, you see a cat in the middle of bags of Doritos, and the first thing you think about is, let me pull out my phone and post it.
Yes.
Like, not just like think
Now,
about
hold
what
on.
I just saw.
Because based off of what you saw. Now, I think the next dude I'm about to show you is a bad motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
This dude knows what's up.
Okay.
For real.
And just like what?
This dude pulls up on... Oh, no, you're going to see.
Yeah.
He pulls up on you. You want no parts of this.
Okay.
Okay? Here we go.
What?
All right, here we go. Ready?
Hello, I'm Jarko. When you first start nerfing, it's really hard to find tactical gear because you don't want to spend too much money or buy something that won't work for you. So, here's an easy way to get a start on tactical gear. This is a carpenter's belt from Walmart. It costed me like $12 because it was on clearance. It doesn't come with all the pouches I have in here. It comes with two versions of this and one version of this small pouch. The small pouch can be used for just like loose ammo or maybe a small blaster.
Loose ammo.
However, the big pouch is what I really want to talk about because it has a little thing right here that you can hook a blaster onto.
Blaster.
A pouch right here for maybe a large mag.
Wait. No, hold on. We're in the middle of this.
Blaster.
Hold on. Do you know what that is? What that's really used for? That little metal thing?
Nah.
It's for a hammer, bro. Like, this is literally used for carpenters. Now, first off, before we finish the rest of it, how you feel about this fit right here?
I mean, it looks like he's just heavy into this Nerf culture.
Are you seeing this? Bro,
It's a skull.
it's a skull with all other skulls
Yeah.
around in the purple. Now, the camo on the bottom,
Yeah.
we're going crazy
So
right
he's trying to fit in.
okay. I just want to make sure we're seeing the same
But he's
thing.
like a walking contradiction, though.
No,
'Cause
hold
he's
on.
got this loud shirt on and then these camo pants
wait.
on.
However, the big pouch is what I really want to talk about because it has a little thing right here that you can hook a blaster onto. Pouch right here for maybe a larger magazine. And the big pouch can hold either 4 regular sized magazines or about 8 half-dart magazines. So, for $12, I say this is a pretty good start for your tac gear. So,
Your
maybe give it a try.
tack gear. So this is like
This is
alright.
competitive Nerf.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So there's subcultures in the world that we live in. So there's gaming, there's Nerf now. Like, people really live this life, bro. People really live this
He
life.
said this is for loose ammo. This
Yeah.
big. First of all, he's smacking the shit out of his stuff. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but that scares me because it's like, all right, if he gets like real weapons in his hands, he's gonna want to go crazy.
Bro,
It's weird, bro. I mean,
this
it's
is
not-
what I mean. This type of stuff is like, I think this is real, right?
It is
like
real.
this is
He's
real.
not faking that.
He's not faking that, right?
Like, he definitely plays video. He plays Call of Duty. He plays all these games, and then this is his like real life outlet. Like, now he's in
Shooting
culture.
Nerf guns.
Yeah, and they're serious. Like, they got full magazines, half magazines, loose
Yes.
ammo. Like, they
That's
got
what he
all
said.
this
Half
stuff.
mag, full mags, loose darts. You got a blaster on here. You got a blaster on here. I'm
Yeah.
like, so you guys are really for real out here just chilling, like shooting each other with Nerf guns.
Yeah,
But the fit is what I was talking about is crazy. And this hair is like from My Chemical Romance.
right. So he just fits the profile.
Where do you think he lives? It's got to be like
He def-
Idaho.
No, I mean, yeah. I would think that was a safe thing to assume, like somewhere like that. But he might be in Jersey. I don't know.
So now I want to slowly build you into this, right? Because now you've got that. Now you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship. These people are also in a relationship.
Okay.
Now this is where I officially draw the line because I don't know. If this is real, then God bless you.
Okay.
But this is crazy to me, bro. This is crazy. Like, kink, next level.
Okay.
Now, this is your thing. Enjoy yourself. But this is wild. Okay? All right, here we go. Now, before I even start this... Fangs.
Right.
All right.
What the fuck?
Wait, so that was a
we'll
guy?
Play it back. We'll play it back.
That's
yes.
a guy and a girl?
So, I think, I mean, I don't want to misgender anybody, but you got, yes, there's a relationship happening here. Now, notice how Bull is on a leash here.
Oh, I didn't even know
Okay,
that.
so he's on, now she's on a leash too, but he's on a leash that she's holding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that turns it on.
Hold on. Because, now hold on. She's a cat, and I think he's a dog.
Oh, so she's saying doggy.
At the end, well, they're like yes, no, yes, and then they growl at each other. But then he does it like a dog, like he stepped on his paw or something, right?
I feel like all couples have their weird things that they do. Not like that.
What
but,
are you talking about here?
Just like things that's like inside like jokes.
No, but here's my thing. Do whatever gets you off. 100%. Hey.
Or maybe I think that speaks to like what maybe they were just doing that for TikTok too.
No,
I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. TikTok, this is the reason you gotta download TikTok, because TikTok is the only platform where
that's kind of acceptable.
Well, no, it's that people will share stuff like that, and I can't tell if they understand that it just goes out to the entire world.
I think they do. I think that's why they do it. I think people do things on TikTok for
and it's a confidence thing, right? It's like they are so confident that they want to share that. Then you go on Instagram and you're like, you would only post the very best, normal, hottest version picture of yourself.
Yeah.
But on here, you got people in fangs barking and yipping at each other on leashes.
Yeah.
And how old are they? Mid-20s?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I think TikTok encourages... I think that's what's cool about TikTok. It's like, it encourages you to be yourself. Because it's like, you're expecting to go on TikTok and see something crazy. So it's like I feel like people can actually be more of themselves on TikTok.
100%.
Like, Instagram is like polished. Like, you don't really see a lot. But TikTok is where it's just like, you see so much BS on there that it's like I could be myself and somebody's going to like it and then just go past it. Like, they're not going to hold that against you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like...
Because you get clout off this. Like, the only reason this pops up on my For You page is because there's at least some type of interaction with it.
Yeah.
So people
get clout off just being...
But this one, I mean, I can't tell, like, is it real or is it fake?
It's not... I don't think that's...
I think that's real.
Yeah, that's real. I think because just thinks to do that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's
and
not...
get your partner to also be in on
so
it.
I think they do some form of that, but I think they embellished it for TikTok. I think they were just like, all right, this is going to be dope for TikTok. And I think that's what a lot of people do. Like, a lot of, like, I've seen, there's this Asian guy on TikTok that, like, is super famous on there, and he just does, like, the most random noises, and, like, you know, it's kind of like slapstick comedy, like, you know, something will smash on his head, and, like, he'll laugh, like, stuff like that. Like, for little kids to just laugh at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's a mix of, I think there's realism in all of it because you have to do it. So, I feel like it's part of you in some way, but then I think it's just embellished for TikTok. So, it's just OD because, you know, the more extreme that you go, the more viral the video is going to be. But it all comes from like.
But like that stuff is so authentic. Like I feel like so much of the viral stuff that I'll see on TikTok are like huge content creators finding these videos of, you know, like crackhead homeless people dancing alone in an abandoned motel, like but you can see there's no one else there. Like they put their phone up to record themselves and now they're reacting. I'm like, so you like there has to be some sort of reason for these people to put that up on there to get engagement off of it, right? Like who thinks of that?
I mean, it's kind of like what
Wild,
you just said reminds me of the New York City thing. It's like you just see something crazy and you record it and you know that other people would enjoy that.
Right. But like that is premeditated.
But that is premeditated. Yeah, that's probably a form of something that they do as a couple and they just kind of...
You just shared it.
Put it out there, yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know where's it go from there.
They probably get a lot of love off of it and just keep doing stuff like that. You know? But I think it's cool because, you know, they might just learn to embrace themselves more because of it.
Now, here's another one, okay? You tell me what you think about this. Now, this is captioned starting with, I was not meant to be in this body. Yeah. Now, I think this is going to go one way, okay?
See, that's premeditated.
Is that real?
Yeah, I think...
What? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's real. I just think...
With the tail, though.
Yeah. I think people just have... The imagination is a powerful thing, man.
Dude, you're...
I don't know, like, it just...
I'm not even looking to justify or anything. I just think that, like, when I watch nutty stuff like this, I'll keep watching it because I just feel like... Okay, so you recorded yourself, you edited music to it, you have multiple scenes, multiple captions, like you've thought about this.
Yeah.
And this is what you chose to put out. And then everything else leads me to believe that there's no other like BS behind, like you're not just some like alt comedy guy like making a joke of this.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the tail, bro.
I think TikTok. I think TikTok allows people to like actually be creative, like to think of these things. Like, I think a lot of these people are like high for sure that do this stuff, and you know, like you just think about the most random things, but TikTok gives you the outlet to just do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes it cool. It's just like, yo, we all have just crazy thoughts sometimes, like what if this happened, what if this happened, like we might watch something and then just like go into a rabbit hole of thoughts
and then they go from there.
Yeah, I
mean, oh my god, man, this is why I need to watch this with you so I can figure this out.
I think you're thinking too deep into it though.
I like personally for me, this is my favorite type of content. Like if you're putting stuff out like this regularly and don't mind showing exactly what you do, like how you really feel about yourself, more power to you. Like this is it. Just because if I get to laugh and engage with like some white girl who can't twerk trying to, and everybody roasts her for that, then this is more authentic than that.
Yeah, I'd rather watch stuff like that.
Right. Where you're like, what else can I possibly do?
Yeah, I think these are cool, man. I mean, not the couples thing. I thought that was weird, but that's what they meant to do though. Like they know that is weird. That's why
they know that it's weird.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, bro.
So that's why they do it, and they know it's gonna get a reaction.
And then I'm gonna end it with this. Now, this is one of the most skilled people I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, this is a cantaloupe.
Yeah. So
and here's what he does with the cantaloupe. Okay.
Oh, that's impressive.
No, wait.
Oh, that's impressive.
And peep all the other cantaloupes in the back
all like
that he did.
See, that's fire.
That's the stuff that people need to know is real. Your cantaloupe doesn't just end up like that. There's some dude in the back with a butcher's knife holding it like
doing that. Now that's fire. But that's what makes TikTok cool. You see everything.
Right.
It's like you'll see like real, like there's a lot of, you know, do it yourself stuff on TikTok that's really cool and helpful. People buy stuff off of TikTok and then you see the randomly weird stuff and then you see stuff like that where it's like,
where you're
dang,
like, oh yeah.
I never even thought about that before.
But I've always said there are jobs that people don't understand are what make the world go round.
Yeah.
That's a world goes round job. Somebody has to do that. It doesn't just show up like that. And that dude's banging out 60 cantaloupes an hour because he's just, every minute he's killing them.
Yeah, that was fire, actually.
You got to download
really cool.
TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
You got to download it. You don't even need to make an account. You can just have your For You page.
Yeah.
And then the stuff that you find, you got to send me because I got to see what you're watching.
I mean, I would probably...
See what comes up on your algorithm.
Yeah.
Because Adriana's algorithm and my algorithm, bro, we will literally... I could scroll next to her for an hour and never see a video that is on hers, and I can never see a video on hers.
She's probably like a lot of DIY stuff, for sure.
And they definitely understand that she's like straight female and I'm straight male.
Yeah.
Because you get two totally different like thirst traps, all this different stuff, without ever having an account, bro.
Yeah, well, the phone is listening to us. I think we all know that at this point. It's real, bro. Like phone listens.
100%.
When you mention something and then an ad pops up for it, it's listening.
It's ridiculous.
I think you just gotta accept it at this point. Like, what can you really do?
I think you can accept it if you have nothing to hide.
Yeah, it's just like...
But there's definitely some people out there
who can't do nothing. What can you do? You're not gonna use your phone?
Right.
That's the thing. Like, you're gonna need your phone. So even they, like... iPhone just had this update about, privacy and you can choose. That's cool, but they're still going to listen to you. Like,
that's cool, but you still have no privacy.
Yeah, if you search something, they're going to know you searched it.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away. I don't know, man. It's like this, we're in a crazy space right now with the metaverse and Facebook. You seen the haptic gloves that
No.
Mark Zuckerberg had? So like there's these they call them haptic gloves. So they're like, it's kind of like a Thanos hand, and it has like all of these accessories on it that when you go into the metaverse or the VR world, you can actually feel what you're touching.
Really?
Yeah, and then they did a video where one person was here, and like they were dapping each other up in the meta world. They were like playing like the game, like it was cool, man. So they're called haptic gloves.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real. It's about to get crazy, bro.
It is gonna get crazy.
I mean, it was already crazy. You already knew about it, but now it's like actually see like, oh, like this is really possible.
It's possible, man.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's scary too because people are going to. I think it's giving people another outlet to like live a life that they don't have. So when they're not in the metaverse, I think we might see the worst versions of people. Because in the metaverse, you can kind of create like your own world and your own safe
you're an
space.
avatar, you're a character.
But when you take the equipment off, then it's like you got to go back, and that's not going to produce the best results. So there's give and take to everything, but I mean, technology, from a technological perspective is really dope, but like from like I don't know how to say it, from like a human perspective, like a real life perspective, it's like I can see a lot of problems being caused because of it.
Yeah, if you're not good with who you are in the normal world,
you're
not going to be good
just
with
going to revert
elsewhere.
back. But at the same time, I still think meta is for a certain person. Like, I don't think the average person is going to be in the meta. I think meta is like, it's like more of newer generation, or you were somebody who played Sims growing up, like you like that. Like, I always knew about Sims, but I never played it. So I'm not a meta person, but there are people who live that life. So I think that, like anything else, it's gonna balance itself out. But I do think that people are gonna be like negatively affected by what you can do in the metaverse.
I think we also we both grew up not really playing video games. Still, neither of us play video games.
I mean, I played games, but it was just like sports games. It wasn't like
it was never Call of Duty or whatever, Overwatch, like these types of games where like people get like so invested in every version of it and drop and on Xbox Live, making friends. Like there's that whole community aspect that we definitely have no connection to.
Yeah.
But that metaverse, like that whole haptic touch thing, like creating a community around what you're doing is cool.
It's big, but you gotta realize there's so many people in the world, so it's like it's gonna be millions of people in it, but there's gonna be so many
it's
other
only gonna be a percentage of people that can ever actually
or that even care, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that even care.
No,
I know people from a financial perspective care, because it's like you can invest in these, meta apps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can invest in these technologies that make it and stuff like that. But then there's people that are going to be actually, like, in it. They want to live in it. And there's going to be people like us who, we have interest in it, but
I'll be in there if I can.
We may do it, may not. And then there's going to be a group of people who just don't care at all. And
the future will only tell.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's a hot ep right there. Thank you, as always, for watching, listening, subscribing. We're stacking content. It's all coming out soon. Hope everyone likes the new studio.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget, follow Stop Snitching Podcast on Instagram. It's just BC TV Media. I'm Ellis1994. And it'll be anywhere that you can listen or watch video.
All streaming platforms, YouTube,
bang,
Instagram, whatever, man.
Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Bye. Stop snitching.